Welcome to this explainer. So picture this. It's 2 a.m. An AI system you just deployed gave catastrophic financial advice to a client. Or maybe it made a massive medical documentation error. You were suddenly jolted awake by a frantic phone call and you were immediately tasked with proving exactly why it happened and ultimately who or what is at fault.
Right. Let's dive straight into this by asking a really critical question. What actually transforms a powerful AI tool into a massive architectural liability in a regulated environment? It isn't just about hallucinations. It's actually about a complete lack of traceability.
Because here is the harsh reality. If your system cannot explain exactly what it was asked, what it answered, and which exact version of the model and prompt produced that specific answer, it's a liability. We have to completely reframe auditability here. It is no longer just this bureaucratic compliance checkbox that the legal team worries about after you deploy. No, it is a first-class architectural property. It has to be built right into the system's DNA from day one.
Here is our architectural blueprint for today. We're going to cover 1. The new engineering mandate. 2. Anatomy of an audit trail. 3. Enforcing AI access control. 4. Architecting for EU compliance. 5. Observability and distributed tracing. And finally, 6. The end-to-end investigation.
Section 1. The new engineering mandate. Moving beyond the black box.
Section 2. Anatomy of an audit trail, the operational ledger. To actually achieve the visibility required by that new engineering mandate, we have to look closely at the operational ledger. Looking at this unified schema, you'll see 4 pillars you absolutely must have to pull off a forensic investigation. First up, input logging. Every single query sent to the system must be timestamped and linked to a specific user identifier, making sure you handle personally identifiable information strictly according to your data retention policies. Second is output logging. Every response produced has to be explicitly linked back to the exact input that generated it. Third, configuration provenance. This is huge. You need to capture the exact prompt version ID, the model identifier, the retrieval configuration, and any guardrails active at that exact millisecond. This is what guarantees any past output can be perfectly reproduced or explained. And finally, human intervention logging. Anytime a human-in-the-loop checkpoint gets triggered, you've got to record what action the system proposed, what the human decided, and exactly when they decided it.
Section 3. Enforcing AI access control. Context is a privilege escalation vector. We also need to completely rethink data security because traditional perimeter defenses absolutely fail in the era of retrieval augmented generation, or RAG. In a standard setup, you're used to protecting the perimeter, right? But with AI, a model should only have access to data that it is actually authorized to surface to the specific user making the query. Think about it. Context itself literally becomes a privilege escalation vector. Imagine a lower-tier user crafting a really clever prompt that tricks your vector database into retrieving a highly confidential document that belongs to an executive. If the system surfaces that information, you've just had a data breach that never even touched your traditional access controls. The database doesn't know your org chart, it just finds semantic similarity.
So how do we mitigate this dangerous context injection? You have to implement an architectural defense in-depth strategy. Step 1 is permission-aware retrieval. You must enforce access control lists directly at the vector database query layer. Basically, this means filtering retrieved documents by the querying user's exact access tier before those documents ever reach the model's context window. Step 2 is output filtering. This acts as your final egress filter. It actively inspects the model's generated response to ensure it doesn't contain a single piece of information from a document tier the user isn't authorized to see.
Section 4. Architecting for EU compliance. Translating policy into code. Now, we've talked a lot about these technical measures, but how does this all map to major regulations, like the EU AI Act for high-risk systems? Well, compliance lawyers might read words like human oversight, transparency, and auditability as abstract policy goals. But for an engineering team, these translate into hard technical requirements. Human oversight actually means building rigid architectural checkpoints straight into your application logic. It means if an AI agent is drafting a high-stakes financial recommendation, it isn't just loosely monitored. It requires a competent human to hit a physical approve button before any transaction is sent out. It means building literal stop buttons and defining strict confidence thresholds directly into the code, guaranteeing the system operates safely under human control at points of costly consequence.
Section 5. Observability and distributed tracing. Building governance from day one.
A robust, distributed tracing setup inherently covers a lot of what governance requires, but only if you design it right from day one. You can't just track basic web traffic latency anymore. Your spans have to capture very specific AI-aware log fields, full prompt and response payloads, exact token counts so you can prevent runaway cloud costs, specific tool call parameters, and the precise version identifiers we touched on earlier. Frankly, this is a massive argument for building governance-aware logging into your infrastructure from the very start, instead of trying to painfully retrofit it after a compliance audit blows up in your face.
Section 6. The end-to-end investigation. The 2 a.m. incident resolved. All right, let's go back to that 2 a.m. panic. Imagine your compliance team urgently asks, what exactly did the system tell user X about topic Y on this specific date, and which version of the system was responsible? If you have a proper audit trail, this chronological trace visually proves exactly what happened. At 10 a.m., the exact input is logged. Instantly, the system retrieves the context correctly constrained by your permission-aware access controls. At 10:01 a.m., the configuration provenance confirms the exact model and prompt version that was used. And at 10:05 a.m., a human-in-the-loop decision is permanently locked. There's no guessing. You can definitively trace the entire investigation and prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that the system acted securely and transparently.
I want to leave you with this one final thought. Audit trails are incredible for covering what your system did legitimately and giving you the power to prove it. But what happens when that call at 2 a.m. wasn't just an accident, but a highly targeted attack? Our next explainer covers exactly what happens when someone actively tries to make your system do something it shouldn't. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll catch you in the next one.